Today, we are blessed to present one of these insightful lectures entitled, Remember Your True Nature, Live Like a Saint, Part 1 of 5, on Between Master and Disciples, given in English and Chinese on September 1st, 2019, in New Land Ashram, Taiwan, also known as Formosa.
Taiwan? Oh, Taiwan sang rồi ha, sang rồi. Taiwan. Hả? Âu Lạc. Ok. Chào mấy đồng chí. Mình rồi. Bây giờ Bye thôi. 不用水的，坐的舒服了，坐舒服。请师父们坐。Thank you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for coming. Today we are like Korean. Very generous. What is that? Wow, new color. 黄金哎。Oh. Yeah, prepare your ears. Summer wear this nice. Summer very nice. Are you guys okay? Cool?
Yes.
The aircon works?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel cooler now. Before I was sweating. It's good, eh? Wow. Luxury. Luxurious meditation place. 안녕하세요. Welcome. Last time we talked about this special meditation method, which is very difficult to practice, very dangerous also. Oh, I wrote a lot. I don't know when I wrote it. Or maybe I just read it to you, huh? Okay, this one is not for you. Not for you. This one last time read already. I think I wrote this before I talked to you, but then I forgot it at home. I found it. So I just read it as is, yeah? Okay? And whatever I have told you already, then it's no harm to repeat. Why is that method dangerous? Because you can be stuck in that kind of essential feeling and then be attached to that. Instead of going up, you're stuck there, or going down because of attachment to sensual, physical pleasure. It's very difficult to let go. So I wrote here Quán Âm method, including the light and the sound, is the best for you. Best for anyone. Because it is our self-nature. I probably told that already, but I can repeat what I wrote here, okay? Yeah. Sometimes I'm inspired, to write out what I know so that I don't forget to tell you, okay? I know already. It's just, if I tell you without writing, I might forget a little detail here and there, okay? So I wrote it down. Quán Âm and Quán Quang mean listening to your self-nature inside in two forms. The inside heavenly light, which is your Buddha nature or God nature. And another condensed, more concentrated form of light is the sound, which is also your original nature, Buddha nature or God nature. Now, so this method of Quán Âm, meaning listening to your self-nature, and Quán Quang, seeing your self-nature, is the best for you because it's our self-nature. And our self-nature is Buddha nature or God's nature. When we see our nature, or listen to our inner nature, that means we see our own Buddha nature, our own God quality. Thus, we are one with the Buddhas in all directions. So if we can see our own Buddha nature, we can recognize our own Buddha nature or God nature, then we are one with the Buddhas, one with our God self. Therefore, nothing dangerous can come out of that, because it's our own nature. I wrote a little shorter, but I explained a little bit. I told you last time. I continue more. So, because we are one with the Buddhas, one with God, so we will be blessed, even though we haven't completely realized our true, complete nature, but we still are already together with the Buddhas, because the Buddha has this nature. God is this nature also. In the beginning was the Word, meaning the sound, yeah? And the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Remember that? So the Buddha said this Buddha nature is the same as the beginning of the sound was God, God nature. So if we are with that, then we're safe. Nah? We are not with anything else. We are with ourselves. If you are with yourself, yeah, you feel peace, you feel wise, you can be calm, and you can be loving, contented, feeling happily at home with all beings as well. Not just Buddhas and gods, but also with all beings. The more we know ourselves, true self, the more we be at peace with all beings and be loving to all beings. Of course, because they also have the same nature. Wow, you know everything. What do I need to sit here for? We just a pastime, okay? Since you know everything already, I just pretend also I know something, and then we just pass time seeing each other as good friends. They have the same nature as ours, because all beings have this same nature, Buddha nature or God's quality. Otherwise, where do you think we come from? We come from this wooden floor, from the sofa, maybe, no? Or from this kind of light? No. There must be something very mighty, very powerful, that created us, created our nature. And the one who created it is one with us, the same. Yeah? God made man in his own image. Yeah. So that means we are from God. The Bible says that. And the Buddha said that all beings have the same Buddha nature. Did he say that? Yes. God nature, Buddha nature is same or not same? Same. Because how can you have two nature inside? Do you have two nature inside? Cannot. So that means Christianity, Buddhism, or any other good religion say the same thing. Because the master, the founder of these religions, knew the same things, realized the same things. Maybe they use a little different terminology according to the time of their realization and teaching, and according to the background of the country, the languages. But it's the same. You know all this already, so I don't make it a long-winded kind of lecture anymore. I read on, But we should practice well, because the more we recognize this self-nature, the more we are our own true self. The wiser we become, the more loving, compassionate to all beings, and closer to God, to Nirvana. Therefore, all the masters of old and now still teaching this method, the Quán Âm method, self-nature realization. You can practice other methods, and you will maybe eventually realize your self-nature, because you will see the light. You might hear the sound also, but it's not very stable. As if you have opened already your own self-nature, with the light and the sound. Then it becomes daily practice. Even if you don't practice, it's already open. It will be automatic with you all the time. You won't lose it anymore. You can develop more, yeah, but you won't lose it. Just adhere to the 5 precepts. Even if you reach the 5th level already, please remember to keep the 5 precepts. Because the 5 precepts not only protecting you, but protect other beings as well. What kind of Buddha go out and kill chicken and eat? Huh? For example, yeah? But after you become enlightened, more and more enlightened, of course you will have only compassion and love for other beings. You will not want to eat anything. But it's just logically speaking, I'm just telling you that, to let you know why, okay? So that you might be more clear, okay? In your mind. The same with every other precept is to protect you, yeah? Protect others around you and your country and our world. If a person already enlightened and keep drinking and getting drunk all the time, is it good for our society? No, for example, like that. So not drinking, not getting drunk is also protecting our society. Because if you say you are enlightened, and then you go out drinking and drunk driving, and then you might kill other people or hurt yourself, yeah? Wreck your car, and then you have to pay a lot of money to repair the car if you're not hurt. And if you're not hurt or you're dead, then, well, bad example of a practitioner, right? Bad example for your kids, yeah, for your friends, your neighbor, anyone who knows that you're practicing spiritually, but you are a drunken person. And you might even hurt someone else. And then if you have drug, for example, you say, okay, I take drug, it's only harming me, only costing me money, but I don't harm anybody. You do harm somebody. You do harm anyone that see you doing that. They might copy, yeah, and harm themselves. And they might spend too much money, which should be used for their family benefit. And then for you also, if you spend a lot of money from your family, then of course your family won't feel good. And maybe fight together. And it could be more serious, hurting each other, hurting the children. Once you don't get what you want, you might hurt family to get the money to come out and buy your drug, for example, like that. And your children will starve. Your family will be broken. It's bad for your happiness and for your family's happiness. So even though you say you only harm yourself, but you do harm others. That's just some example. And if you keep telling lies, for example, no one will trust you anymore. And one day, people will find out, and maybe you'll be in more trouble. It's just example. And stealing or robbing, you might be in jail. Yeah, for example, like that. And jail is not a fun place to be. You might think, it doesn't matter, I can go to jail. But then you go to jail, you will encounter other inmates. And not all of them are friendly. It's not just the jail, it is people who live in jail together with you. They may harm you in different ways. If the physical intercourse between man and woman, you call it sex. I'm shy to mention that word. When I first mentioned it, I was really very shy. But somebody asked me about it. I had to put on a brave face and tell him about why, a long time ago, some years ago. But even then nowadays, if I mention that, I still feel very shy. I don't know why. Forgive me if I'm not so brave as you think. I'm not all that brave. I'm not all that very free to talk about anything. It's because I'm your teacher, I have to. But I always try not to mention that if I can. So, if sex is also one of the 84,000 methods to practice, why didn't the Buddha ever mention it? He even told people, try not to follow the lustful temptation. Because he knew it's very dangerous. I told you last time already. And then suppose you practice with one person, and you might get addicted to that person, and then that person doesn't want to practice with you anymore because some reason, then you might try to get someone else, someone else, someone else. And then it will be very, very chaotic and troublesome. Not to yourself only, but to other people involved. Yeah. Even if you want to be a teacher of this so-called tantric yoga, you are not safe from the danger of addiction to sensual pleasure. I also written here, it's a dangerous way because you could be entangled in its powerful pleasure and can't reach your goal or even forget it altogether. In this physical world, sex is the most common, yet the most powerful force to reach enlightenment. Very powerful. If you married or in love, or have boyfriend, girlfriend, you understand what I'm saying. I better not try this. But if you can avoid it, then try the way I have told you last time. The saints, the enlightened saints, they have physical contact with their wives only several times a year, just to have children only. And after that, if they have enough children the way they think they should as an obligation to family, or just to have some children for the parental love for the wife or the husband, they will stop it after having enough children, even though they are still married. At one time, Kabir, the weaver saint, very famous poet also, he told people not to indulge in this kind of sensual pleasure. But they asked him why was he married? And he had sensual pleasure before with his wife. He said, I was not enlightened. I was blind then. Yeah. So that means after fully enlightened, he and his wife become best friends only. And his wife was also a saint of high order. And she respected him then as a master, just like every other disciple. Sankapaya is one of the most famous saints in India. And you know already, sometimes people say, what's the difference between your wife and my wife? Some of the men ask, we say, she's different. She's different, yeah. And the man, the disciple or maybe nosy people ask, what's the difference? So Kabir says, she obeyed absolutely every one of my commandments, every one of my requests. And you know that. Some story I told you already. If some of you don't know, maybe I repeat just a small portion, yeah? So that person asked, and then he tell Kabir, prove it to me. Prove it to me that your wife really listened to everything you ask. So Kabir said to his wife, she's nearby, next to him, say, go out please, get me some stones. A round stone or any stone. And then she brought it in. He said, now make a fire, put some oil in it, and fry the stone for me. She did exactly just that. Finally that person, Kapish, understood that Kabir's wife is truly different from other men's wife. And another time, they run out of flour to make chapati. And Kabir sent his wife to the neighboring shop to borrow some flour. But the man, the owner of the shop, fancied Kabir's wife. Yeah, a long time already. He always tried, but he never succeed. This time, because Kabir was short of flour to make chapati for his guests, he has many truth seekers came to his house. And of course he wants to treat them well. Well, whatever he can. He's just a weaver, He has not earned that much money. Even though he has princess as disciple. And the princess gave him 1 diamond, and he did not accept it. But then the princess stuck it under his roof somewhere and say, Master, if ever you need it, please sell it. so that you can have some decent lifestyle. So some years later, she asked him, how come you still live like a poor weaver? What happened to the diamond I gave you? He said, wherever you put it, it's still there. Yeah? So he still lives a life of a simple weaver. Whatever he earns, he uses. And whatever he has extra, if somebody come to him in need or visit him, he treat them with that. But that day, too many people came, including some monks. At that time, mostly just monks came visit him. So the monks, of course, had nothing to offer. The monks in India, they go with only one staff, one bottle, like a god, to get the water. That's it. And then one clothes. One they cover around here, and one they wrap around them. You know, maybe a blanket, maybe a cloth. That's all they have, the Indian monk. The Indian monks that I have seen, okay? The Hindu monks, yeah, and other monks and nuns as well. Same. Even nuns, they're also like that. Therefore, Kabir has to go borrow some flour. But this man, the owner of the shop, had taken much liking to the wife of Kabir a long time already. So this time he used this opportunity to kind of force her, say, if you have a physical relationship with me, then I give you as much flour as you want to take. The wife, of course, don't like that. Come home and told her husband. Kabir said, what? Just that? And you did not even agree? Come, I take you back there. Because it's raining and it's muddy. He's a gentleman, so he carried her to the shop and tell the owner, here, my wife, please, be gentle, take care of her, and give me the flowers. Oh, the owner of the shop was so shocked. Who wouldn't be, right? He thought he should do it secretly with the wife, but the husband knew, and then even offer him, his wife, openly. He was so scared. Also, he saw both of them, even though it's raining hard outside, both of them are dry, just like we are now. So he was so scared, and he begged for forgiveness. And he said, please, take as much flour as you need. I will never dare to offend both of you, saintly practitioner again. Please forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. All right, so they have flour and nothing happened. I mentioned about the saints. After enlightenment, they practice abstinence. They still have wife, children maybe, but they keep abstinence from physical pleasure. They keep themselves abstinence from sex. Okay, sorry. I really don't like to speak it, but let's be straight is good, because sometimes talk around, you don't understand anything. Yeah? Or you pretend you don't understand. Fine. Therefore, I mentioned all the saints, they practice abstinence. Keep yourself busy. If you are bothered by that powerful force of nature that imparted within your being as one of the enlightening methods, just be busy. Help others instead of thinking of yourself too much. When you're too busy, you come home, you just meditate a little, and then you drop dead. You have no more energy to follow your inside desire. And living alone, of course, helps, okay? And living separate rooms, separate houses, as wife and husband, does help. And do not look left and right, back and forth, if any object of your adoration appear in front of your eyes. The monks was taught by the Buddha to look only about 1 meter in front of them, so that they can see the insects, so they don't hurt them. They don't look anywhere at all. Don't look at the woman. And look upon all the women as your mother. And for the nun, look upon all the men as your father, or your brother, or your sister, like that, to avoid trouble. If any desirous thought creep up in your mind, you cut, yeah? Think of something else, recite the 5 names. try as best as you can. Of course, it's very powerful, this one. Very, very powerful. It is very powerful. It even can create human beings. Imagine how more powerful can any other power be. Create maybe not just one human, but many humans. Create the whole world as you see it. So how powerful that force inside you. If you cannot tame it, then of course it's understandable. Huh? Just try to. Maybe that's why when women and men came of age, they have to marry and slowly tame it. Try your best, try your best. Because this physical pleasure not only entangle you in a lower type of energy, but also expand your energy too much. Huh? Yeah. Okay. Now I don't think I need to say any more, do I? No? No. Okay. All the politicians in our former generation knew all this also. Everyone know actually, but they use this power also even to exchange for lands, for more expansion of their country, yeah, by marrying their daughter off or their son off to neighboring country to exchange for some piece of province as dowry for the marriage. In Vietnam before, they did that also. One of our princesses, fame for being beautiful and virtuous, saw our neighbor king. Vietnam before is not all the way from Hanoi all the way to the Cà Mau, no. It was only from on the northern side. Then slowly with this marriage we get the central of Vietnam now. And later some more excuses. It's a long story. You want to hear? Not that long, but I make it short. There was a song about it, yeah, that I sing sometime before Christmas. This princess, absolutely beautiful, out of this world kind of beauty. And she's coming of age already, 16 at the time, and she was in love with the general, the royal general of the guards. But then the king of other country, a neighboring country, maybe threatened to make war. So our king pacified by saying, we should be neighbor, we should be friend instead. I have beautiful princess. The king wanted that. The neighbor king wanted that. He said, unless the princess married to him, he will not let them. At that time, Ta Yue be in peace. So the king offered the princess. And of course, it's a heartbreaking love story for the princess and the general. He has to accompany her as a chief of the bodyguards to bring her to the other country, to offer her to another man. No matter if he's a king or not, he's another man. And he wasn't that good looking. Yeah. So after that, our country have peace with the neighbor, fine, and have, I think, two provinces extra added into our nation, okay, expanded our country border, fine. But later, when this king died, because the king of the neighboring country at that time called Champa country, Cham, nước Cham. He was already older when he married the young princess. And then he died. And in that country, tradition is that the king's body would be burned. And the princess, or whatever consorts he had at that time, all have to die with him in the same way, alive. Burned alive. Because it was a wrong translation, one wrong word. Because that time Champa also influenced by Indian culture. If you see some of their stupas that they built and the sculpting outside, the structure is very much like India. Many of the stupas. Stupas is people either built to bury some important person inside, or to worship some of the saints' relic, like tooth. The saints or the Buddha died, they worship the tooth. They build a stupa, make it elaborate, painting or sculpting outside, beautiful decoration to worship. So if you see some of the stupas that are left over in our country, Vietnam nowadays, you will see they very much resemble the Indian kind of structure of building. I'm just telling you this, nobody tell me, it's just my calendar, okay? Because I saw it, I observed, and I see the similarity. So the princess, who is still young and beautiful at that time, was going to be burned with the king, accompanied with other concubines and second queen and all that, or queen and concubine. In some culture, they believe that these people will accompany the king in the afterlife to keep him company and to serve him, take care of him. And there's another theory, I think, because in India, a long time ago, people did that too. If the husband died or the king died, important person died, then the wives, the concubines, the queen had to be burned together. Because the scriptures say that when the king died, then the wife stand in front of the pyre, the fire that they make to burn the body of the king, for example. They say in front of the fire. But then they don't know, somebody maybe deliberately or mistakenly took out the word in front. They say in the fire. Of course, your wife, you stand in front of your husband, cremation, no? Of course, right? It's the closest family kin. And then they say in the fire instead of in front of the fire. So many women has been burned this way. Imagine how cruel that can be. So I guess maybe because of the Hinduism or whatism at that time influence from India, the tradition in Champa royalty at that time also following that. So our princess was in danger. So of course our king, the Vietnamese king at that time, sent the general, the one who protected her all this time, and sent also accompany her to the next country for the marriage. So he sent him and many others, some of their trusted guards, sent to their neighbor country, trying with all their might to save the princess' life. So he did. Somehow they did. But after that, the general and the princess are no more seen anywhere in the public eye. They just run away with each other from the politics, from royalty, from this kind of trade, human sentiment and love, just for land or for peace even. They just run away. They didn't ever come back. We understand. I would also. And the general at this time would never, ever want to risk one more time to let the princess go back to the royal palace. He did one time, and he's paying so much already. So this time he has a chance, he won't ever let her go back to the palace again. And you would understand that. And she probably would never want to go back. If a father can give away a daughter like that, I don't think the daughter would trust the father again, ever. Even if it's for peace, sacrifice her. But she would be scared the whole life already. The scar in the heart would never heal completely. I told you that formerly, or maybe even now, people use this physical sex to exchange for many other things. And even to, maybe willingly, just to promote themselves higher, to higher position, to more favorable situation as well. It probably happens in many places, not everywhere. We've seen sometime in the movies, but in real life probably also happens. as I said, to be able to create a human like this, yeah? Can you imagine how powerful that is? So how can we, as a normal physical person, withstand this strong creative power and enlightening power that come with that as well? Our world has never been completely liberated, and because of this power also. And our world has populated sometimes beyond necessity and beyond our economical standards, yeah? Because of this power also. And rarely can anyone withstand it, okay? I read again because it's too much. So powerful that it could even create a life, you know? Even animals also create another life because of this power. But animals, most animals, they're more clever than us. They have physical contact only during season. And then they don't have anything to do with each other again. Except us humans. We continue far beyond season. I don't know if we ever know what the season is for that. But the animals, they only have it in their seasons. Okay, and then they take care of each other and take care of their offspring. We do it all the time. It creates a life, or even some lives at the same time. Some people have quadruplet or quintuplet even, or twin, yeah, you know all that. Okay, so it's so powerful that if the humans succumb to this, we will not feel surprised. It's just for an enlightening method, it's even more troublesome. Because it's so difficult to handle, to tame, or to use it for enlightenment practice. So it is rarely used by true practitioners, as the negative side effect is too great a risk to take. The Buddha is well aware of this fact that he even advised his monks not to look at women, even if a woman is already 70 years old and lying sick on the bed, right? 对吗？我讲的对吗？我怕我记忆力不好，老了，讲对吗？啊 ，good， 还好，还记得，But I told you last time also, some time ago. 对吗，老师？老师傅，对哈，讲对哈，哎呀，Buddha 有讲哈，佛有这样说 ，OK. Maybe you, the lay Buddhists, have not read this part, but all the monks and the nuns know it. That's why I asked them. Okay, I read this when I was 20-something. Okay, so I might forgot. Okay, imagine 40-something, 50 years already, and not bad, eh? Still remember. I just asked them so to confirm with you, to verify, so that you know that I did not tell you something wrong. Okay, very difficult to withstand this power. The Buddha knew. So the monks and the nuns only look 1 meter ahead. They don't look anywhere. So I can see only insects to avoid, you know, to avoid killing insects, etc., etc. Okay, the other I talked already. So the Buddha knew that almost for certain that all men will fail this method. This we don't need to be a Buddha to know, right? The Buddha knew. I think all men knew. You don't have to wait until you become a Buddha to realize this trouble. That almost all men will fail this method. Such a powerful force lay within our fragile and vulnerable physical. It's just too much to handle. Especially since we have been stripped of all knowledge of our divine self-nature, yeah? We did not even know about our self-nature. And we are endowed with this kind of much powerful creative force. So it's very difficult for people. Some people call that hormone. But it is a force of this, supposed to be for enlightening power within us that make it that way. So in the scientific way, we call that a hormone. We are stripped of all knowledge of our divine origin and our divine wisdom. We know nothing. We're born deaf, dumb, spiritually, yeah, and blind. Spiritually, yeah. We have eyes where we don't see, have ears where we don't hear. So in the Bible also say the same. Seeing you see, but you do not perceive. Hearing you hear, but you do not understand. That's what it means. We are deaf, blind, spiritually. We see only outer thing. We see nothing of our real self and the real world within. So we stripped off all of that. So left alone to face all obstacles and troubles that heaped on us by the negative power of Maya. The powerful force inside we cannot handle. And outside we're heaped on with all kinds of obstacles, temptation, trouble. That is already too much to handle. So truly, if we don't go hide within our protective cell, then we're really doomed. Life after life, come back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Do the same thing or similar things. Never can be liberated. If there is no Buddha in the world, no saints, no enlightened person to help us with their blessing, with their compassion, we are doomed forever. If we can be reborn again as human or even as animal, it's already too good. Just worry we might be pushed too hard, that we do wrong thing, that will be condemned to hell, maybe forever. Remember Surangama Sutra. Even the practitioner sincerely want to practice, but then once he got something, some power, some knowledge, he begin to want something else, because not being guided by a true enlightened master such as Buddha or Jesus or Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when these masters were alive, okay, they can help us, but they mostly push us to go find living master. They help in any way they can, except initiation. That has to be done through the portal of physical opening, okay, which a living master in the physical form can perform, together with the blessing that flow toward the true seeker by the master. Share the blessing, share the knowledge, share the grace. Otherwise, we are doomed forever. And after we already enlightened by a master, then all the master can help us inside. They all can help if we pray. The master that transfer the enlightening wisdom can also help inside. But many other masters, they're always around, also helping us. Just lean on them. Just pray to them. Don't forget them. Always pray for help. Okay, any help we get. Because in this world, if we don't have this kind of help, we drown. Anytime. Because we live in physical world, in enemy country. This is our enemy land. It's not our real land. Our real land is in Nirvana, is in heaven. So, to be here, we need help from all kind of invisible beings who are more powerful than us in our stage of young enlightenment, young self-knowledge. Yeah. We are just learning to walk. We cannot run, we cannot fly yet, so we rely on the inner master power, the physical inner master power, and the past and future masters all the time. If lacking real protection, most beings succumb to this powerful force from within, the creative power, which is supposed to be used for a more noble purpose, for enlightenment and liberation. We cannot use it. Actually, very difficult because we don't have protection. If we already lack protection and we practice No, not even thinking of practice. Most people in the world, they don't even know this method, like the power that can be used for enlightenment. They don't know anyway. And they don't have protection, mostly not. Not strong enough for this, yeah? So I say, what a pity indeed. 太可惜. Rarely used. Rarely can succeed. But God is good because He gives us so many methods to choose. Many methods to choose. But the Quán Âm method is the best. All the Buddhas say that. Quán Âm Bodhisattva say that. Manjushri Bodhisattva say that. Jesus taught that. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught that. So when you see the Muslim praying, they do pray almost like when you do Quán Âm. It's very difficult to let go of things that you believe. It's difficult to let go of your preconceived ideas and brainwashing technique or whatever ideas that you got from the society. To seek enlightenment is already difficult. How can you? To seek only, not to talk about having it yet. How can you? You work 8 hours a day at least. Before that, you must drive your car or go on bus 1 hour, sometimes 2-3 hours, depends on where you live. Stuck in traffic, sweating at work, and dealing with work, and then dealing with colleagues and bosses and everything already. And go home, take care of wife, kids, parents, a friend's birthday, whatever coming, anything. A wedding day, woo, if you don't remember, then your wife will make trouble, for example, yeah? And her birthday, everybody's birthday. You must remember, your calendar is full of things. Every day, what you have to do. Full of, wash dishes, wash clothes, dry clothes, buy new present for whoever necessary. Your most important person, your wife, your husband, especially wives. Husbands don't care too much. If the wife forget his birthday, he doesn't even remember his birthday or any day anyway. So the wife is the most important person in the family. If you forget her birthday, wow, that is something that you need protection from all the saints. And if you forget your wedding day, wow, that's even the worst thing that could happen to you. Okay? That's why there was a joke. Maybe it was on the SMTV also. The wife woke up and tell the husband, do you know what day it is? So the husband, of course I know. Okay, and then he went out, went to work, and then sent chocolate, flowers, and gift to his wife at home. Also, when he come back, the wife told him, wow, that's the best Groundhog Day I ever had. In America, there is a day called Groundhog Day. Formerly, we don't have clock. We don't have time to know when springtime is. So on Groundhog Day, if they catch one coming out of the den, out of their winter hibernation, then spring is coming. So they celebrate Groundhog Day for that. And the wife just casually mentioned, and then the husband thought maybe it's her birthday. Don't even care to check calendar. Even if he check, he wouldn't know what day is what. So he sent her chocolate, a flower, and beautiful gift and all that, thinking he'd done a good job until he came home. Because mostly a wife would say that. You know what day it is? To remind him to remember that's her birthday or wedding day or whatever important day in their life, honeymoon day or whatever, or the first day they argue and then make up, etc., etc. Who knows? Who knows what women want and think? Not you guys, maybe, or not, I hope. Leave your man alone, huh? Let him be. To be a man is difficult already. And to be your man, I'm not sure. How more difficult can it be? So all the women out there, have mercy, huh? Yeah. Now, I am continuing. I think I've done. The note is gone, so we go to the calendar. Oh my God, only 20 minutes. Is there any question that you want to ask me urgently, importantly? Otherwise, this story seems to be long, huh? Wow, it's a very long story. Yeah, it's a long story. Very long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. So, never mind. You ask me a question, and my calendar could be even longer. Next time I read you another story. Any question about this and that and, stuff? Any stuff? 不要等我下去了，抓我的鞋子要问，不是要哭闹。这个地方是我们来共修，要保存气氛，单纯干净。要谈什么恋爱，去外面喝咖啡谈。爱什么人也不用在这边热闹起来。所以人家才常常，我为什么讲中文呢？哎呀 ，OK， 我讲英文好了。不是我怕他们翻译不好，因为如果英文的话，很多人懂英文，可以翻到 Korean 文是 Mongolian 文、泰文。我讲中文不是很多人能够翻译流利英文，他也许懂英文，不过翻译是要快的。I said this is a place we come for group meditation, so we should try to keep the atmosphere, the energy pure for everyone to benefit. I love all of you. If not, I would not have to go through a lot of trouble. When I come out with you, I don't look like I have trouble, but I do have trouble. Everyone live on this planet, even the Master, Buddha, had trouble. Look at Jesus, what trouble brought him. Look at Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. They do nothing wrong, only teach people good things, and still being harmed. The three are just symbolic. There are many more that you don't know of. Untold suffering, unimaginable suffering. And Lord Mahavira also, for the enlightenment of beings, he suffered so much. And I also thank you for your love. I really thank you for all your love. I feel it, and I love it, and I thank you. Thank you so much for your love. I know your love. And this love makes people feel comfortable. Yeah, not this kind of attached love or binding love or small love. This is a universal love, unconditional love, and it's very comfortable to feel that. At home, try also to be unconditional. Try to love each other unconditionally. Unconditionally doesn't mean you do not try to point out others' maybe mistakes, that there could be a better way to do. And if it's a small thing, then forgive each other. And just say, I prefer you not have done that. Yeah, but I still love you. And if it's really big and concerning family welfare or health or their own health, you must tell them gently if it works. If it doesn't work, then have to use a little bit less gentle way to do, but have to, okay? But still love unconditionally, okay? Right, always. That's the only love we should have, and that's the only love we should give, okay? I know you're nothing, but to do is difficult. Try. Every time you fail, try again until you succeed. We always have to try. When you first learn to write alphabet, were you able to write immediately? No, mostly we cannot. We have to copy the line that made by the teacher, and then slowly now you write like this. But nowadays we don't worry, we just type computer and print it out. Try to live like a Buddha, even though you have not yet realized your own Buddha nature. Try to live like one. Try, at least try. to think what the Buddha would do in this situation, what Jesus Christ would do in this situation, what other master would do in my situation. Try. And then slowly you can get it. And if you don't get it, at least you know you try. And you do not feel bad about yourself. I am trying. I'm just human. I'm trying my best. And pray the masters help me. All the master help me. At least like that. At least you are reminded of something noble, unconditional. The way you would want to live your life. That's what you want. But you're born in this world is very imperfect and it makes trouble for you. But you wanted that because it's yourself. You want it to be noble, to be perfect. Try at least. Try. It will make you feel comfortable, feel happier and more contented. Yeah. Okay, any question? 10 minutes?
저는 한국에서 출가 수행을 하던 중에 여러 매체를 통해 스승님을 알게 되었습니다.
我在韩国曾经就是一直修出家的生活，在偶然的机会就听闻师父的这个教理。
스승님의 세상을 이롭게 하는 법문과 자비 실천을 보면서 스승님의 출가 제자가 되어야겠다는 생각을 하였습니다.
我看到您的教理之后，发觉您的那个爱是无限级的扩大，然后您的那个慈悲博爱是他所从来都没有感受到的，所以他觉得说他应该跟随你成你的弟子，然后呢去继续这个修行的路。
며칠 전에 스승님이 주셨다는 법복, 약품, 약간의 용돈을 전해받았습니다. 이 자리를 빌려 스승님께 감사의 말씀을 올리고 싶습니다.
上个礼拜是他印经，但是因为他那个时候没有僧谱，他不敢上台来坐着。后来很神奇的，第二天那个法师跟一个老菩萨带着新做的2套僧谱赶来那个新地，叫他穿上。然后呢，出家人还是用出家相要跟随师父，所以他觉得非常的神奇。他根本没有要求，也没有要这样做，结果是这个样子的一个结果，他觉得非常的神奇。
저는 지금 스승님께 약속드리겠습니다.
他说他现在要跟师父您就在这边跟您的事业是说，他开始算这个生活到现在，他所有的感觉是不一样的，他每天的进步也是不一样，所以他在借这个机会跟师父致上他无上千万的一个感谢跟恩典。
不客气，不客气。
세상을 이롭게 하시는 스승님을 도와 열심히 홍법하겠습니다. 그리고 열심히 수행하겠습니다.
就我要随着师父的您的脚步，在您的济世弘法，还有这个救地球、整个宇宙合一的这个路上，我已经尽我的所能，跟随着您的脚步，认真修行，然后呢，一五一十的跟着您一直做下去。
이상입니다. 감사합니다, 스승님.
我要讲的是只有这样而已，其实千言万语都讲不出什么话来，就感恩跟感谢，感谢师父，谢谢师父。
不客气。你在那边可以讲啊，你跟他说我也很感激他。
스님께서 말씀하시는데요. 저기 출가 스님한테도 아주 감사한 마음을 드린답니다.
因为当出家人，好不容易，听我的说法，然后又好不容易，相信啊。
출가 스님으로서요. 스승님의 교리를 아시고 또 알면서도 그것을 실천하고 따라오신다는 것은요. 아주 드문 일입니다.
因为出家人以后就忙了，然后又认为佛经什么讲都够了，所以不会去要求别的。
출가사랑은 저기 앞으로도 많이 바쁘실 거고 불경을 위해서 많이 공부를 하시고 그러는데요. 그것도 스승님에 따라서 일을 하신다는 것은 참 어려운 일이라고 생각합니다.
释迦牟尼佛在世的时候，他讲已经2000比丘啊离开他的法会，不同的比丘不是佛教，因为那个是佛教，这所有都是佛教了。不过那个时候他们相信别的所谓的宗教，所以释迦牟尼佛说有奥妙的 什么法轮啊，什么法门啊，他们都不相信。2000年离开他的讲经的法会，因为不相信他。
석가모니 시대에도요. 저 그때는 불교라는 그 선교도 많이 있었습니다만 석가모니께서 말씀하는 이런 무상 그 법은요. 그 자리에서 2,000명 저기 수행자가요. 불교 수행자가 그 자리를 떠났던 일도 알고 계시잖아요. 그런 일도 있었습니다.
对吗，师父们？对吗？对吗？哎，
师父
OK
是的，那个因为那个佛他讲经很多年以后，他要把最后的无上大法《法华经》众生皆可成佛的这一部经宣说的时候，就有2000比丘不敢
也离开了，
相信就离开了。
对，因为这边我不知道，这印度他们出家人是人家很尊重的啊，然后他们也学习很多经典呐、比方说 The Vedas 就是印度的最古老的经典呐、然后别的经典呐、那个时候他们认为他们什么都知道了，所以那个他们认为不可能有什么法门的，印心传心，然后马上开悟，他们不相信，认为只有出家那条路就可以解脱了，还有看经典这样子。
네, 저기 그때의 시대를 바라면요. 대만은 모르겠지만은 인도 그때 시대는요. 모든 출가선이 모든 아주 큰 정도의 책을 다 읽으셨고 모든 걸 다 안다고 생각하셔갖고요. 석가모니 불이 따로 된 뭐 법 같은 것은요. 자기들이 배워야 될까고 생각을 안 해갖고 그래서 그 자리를 떠나신 겁니다. 그러니까 지금도 똑같습니다. 그게 정말 좀 힘든 거겠죠.
有时候也有出家人比较我执比较多，也有，所以不能自己兼备下来要求道的也有。
예, 출가상을 하신 분들은요, 뭔가 배운 것이 좀 많으셔갖고 아는 것도 많다 생각하고요. 자기는 모든 걸 아니까 그 에고가 많아갖고 좀 이렇게 뭔가 새로운 것 아니면 특별한 것을 배우기가 좀 힘듭니다.
因为出家了以后钻出家府，会简单被信徒宠坏了。
이게 저기 우리가 승복을 입고요, 이렇게 이 법을 이렇게 따라갈 때는요, 그 모든 중생들이 그 큰 대접을 해주셔갖고 그 뭐랄까 겸손한 마음이 생기지도 않고 뭐가 이렇게 우러나는 것이 있어갖고요, 좀 수용하기가 좀 어렵습니다.
所以我们如果当出家人是要很小心，很小心。
예, 출가상으로서 수행을 할 때는 아주 조심해야 합니다.
我看到出家人我都会供养啦啊，出家修行的那个道啊，那个路哈、是当然可以解脱，我有讲过好几次了啊。如果世素啊，不纯素的哈、然后最好一天一餐的，然后持戒是很重要，250戒要很清楚。
저 출가상에서 정말 이게 도를 닦고 있잖아. 해탈하는 것은 가능성이 없다는 건 아닙니다. 250 교율을 지켜야 되고 하루 한 끼 먹고 그리고 모든 신구위가 격퇴해야 된다는 것도 잘 알고 있을 겁니다. 그렇지만 그러면서도 정말 어떻게 수행을 해야지 이거 해탈을 할 수 있는가 또 좀 어렵습니다.
男女都不看的，
예, 남자 여자도 절대로 안 봅니다.
看一米前面而已，
앞에밖에 안 봅니다.
生活简单。
생활은 아주 간단합니다.
比方说有2套法衣而已，
예, 승복은 또 2벌밖에 없습니다.
一个托钵碗
예, 밥그릇 하나밖에 없습니다.
就可以解脱。第4戒
예, 이 상태로 계속 나간다면 이건 제4계로 올라가고 있습니다.
超3戒，
이건 벌써 3세계로 올라간 겁니다.
超3戒以后就容易可以上
네,
上更多。
3세계를 넘어가면은 그다음에는 수행하기가 좀 편할 겁니다.
在3戒以内就不容易。如果
근데
没碰，
3세계 안 하겠으면
如果没
어렵습니다.
碰到再世佛、再世名师是很困难的。
네, 그 상태에서 저기 명사를 만난다는 것은 아주 어려운 일입니다.
不过在这个娑婆世界啊，诱惑那么多，当出家人没有名师，很困难的。
네, 이런 세상에서 소포 세계는요. 그런 상황에서도 출가하는 것은 어려운 상황입니다만 그래도 출가하신다는 그 마음은 아주 거룩합니다.
能够做得到也是可以解脱。
그 상태를 유지할 수 있다는 것은요. 정말 해탈도 할 수는 있겠죠.
释迦牟尼佛的出家人不一样啊，
석가모니 출가 스님은 틀립니다.
哎呀，他跟佛出家不一样。
불하고 석가모니 불을 따라서 출가한다는 것은 완전히 틀리는 거죠.
所以你看很清楚，2000别的出家人，男的比丘的，不是佛的直接的出家的人呢，就离开他的法会了。他佛啊，那么开悟啊，天人之道似的，讲话呢就很有道理，也有证据，也有人解脱，他徒弟都很好的，都有开悟的，又不是说讲然后没用的。 都有用，结果还是另外2000比丘也不相信他。
그때 법회 했을 때는요, 석가모니 제자들이 그렇게 훌륭하시고 그리고 저기 계율도 잘 지키시고 모든 걸 다 잘 증명이 되는데도 그 사람 다른 석가모니 불을 따르지 않는 그 사람들은 뭐 그 자리에서 2000명 비구가 그냥 떠나가 버렸잖아요. 그걸 보세요. 믿지를 못하니까 그런 겁니다.
因为大概骄慢。 大概无名都有，
교만한 마음도 있고 불신한 마음도 있고 그 개호를 못 하고 있으니까 그런 상태가 오는 거겠죠.
所以佛的出家人跟别的出家人那个时候不同款啊，不一样啊。
네, 석가모니 불의 출가 스님하고 다른 출가자는 완전히 틀리는 거죠.
出家人不简单，离开所有，不能离开我执。
모든 걸 출가 스님은요 어렵습니다. 모든 걸 다 버릴 수 있는데요. 이 에고만은 정말 버릴 수가 좀 힘든가 봐요.
不容易。
정말 어렵습니다.
也是因为离开所有，所以更增加我执。
네, 모든 걸 버렸기에 그 에고가 더 셉니다.
我了不起，
나는 참 훌륭하다.
我离家出走，
나는 집을 나섰다. 네.
什么都不管。
나는 아무것도 상관하지 않는다. 나는 훌륭하다.
然后，比方说吃一天一餐也不一定这样子就够了。
나는 하루 한 끼밖에 안 먹는다.
要非常诚心。
정말 이런 것뿐만 중요한 게 아니고요. 지금 신실한 마음이 그렇게 간직해야 하는 겁니다.
哎，要持戒清楚。
250개월도 아주 깨끗하게 지켜야 됩니다.
人家有一些人不吃啊，或是喝水而已，要吃一天一餐算什么？那么骄慢。
그 하루 한 끼 먹는 게 뭐가 별한 일이라고 어떤 사람은 먹지도 않습니다.
吃一天一餐，为了听佛的方法，诚心的，真的我什么都听佛的，然后这样诚心的修行，出家为了解脱才 OK， 不是吃一天一餐就能解脱。
제가 한 끼를 먹는 것은 부처님께서 그렇게 말씀을 정하신 거고 부처님을 따르고 그 계를 지키고 내가 진짜 해탈하기 위해서 도를 닦여서 하는 거니까 그 마음 갖고 하는 것이 수행하는 겁니다. 그래서 진짜 한 끼 먹는 훌륭한 게 아니고요.
如果吃一天一餐而已，为了觉得为了证明给别人说我了不起的话，就更糟糕。
만약에 하루 한 끼 먹는 걸 남한테 증명하기 위해서라는 그 목적에서 한 거라면 더 큰 일이죠, 그게요.
除了那个一天一餐以外，还有那个我执一起来吃那个我执的话，就什么都会不了解了。
네, 그 한 끼뿐만 아니고 그 에고가 나왔을 때는요 아무것도 보이지 않고 아무것도 들리지 않고 난리가 나겠지요.
所以我们穿什么衣服也要小心 ，OK？
무슨 옷을 입더라도 조심해야 합니다.
穿出家服有好处。
네, 출가 스님복을 승복을 입다는 것도 아주 이로운 점이 많습니다.
人尊重我们，
네, 존경을 받으니까요. 또 존경을 하게 되겠고요.
什么人要惹我们也要先考虑。
나를 상하거나 뭘 할 때는 좀 생각을 해봐야 될 거라고 생각하죠.
男的女的要拐我们，要先思考。
남자나 여자나 가까이 할 때는 좀 생각을 해봐야 되겠죠.
怕业障，
업장이 있을 거니까요.
怕拐不到，浪费时间。
그리고 만약에 꼬시지 못하면 시간 낭비가 될 거니까요.
并非他们没有试看看，
그 사람이 그렇게 안 한 것이 아니겠죠, 그죠? 그렇지만은 안 하는 게 더 나을 거고요.
不过因为被人家尊重啊，又可能被宠坏的，
네, 존중을 받는다는 건요, 독약을 먹을 수도 있으니까요, 조심해야 되겠죠.
怕我们我只会长大，
우리 에고가 커질까봐 걱정이 되겠죠.
所以当师傅们要小心。
그러니까 출가 스님들은 조심하세요.
我以前有一位女师傅，佛教的女师啦，
저 옛날에 저기 출가 스님이 한번 여자 출가 스님 비구니가 있었습니다.
他有跟我说一个故事，
저한테 한 이야기를 한 적이 있습니다.
有一个寺庙刚盖的，然后很多年轻的来出家，
네, 새로운 절이 생겼는데요. 젊으신 저기 출가 비구가 많이 왔습니다.
然后群众都来供养嘛，信徒都来供养，
그래서 신도들이 많이 공양하러 옵니다.
赞叹，
그리고 찬찬도 많이 하고요.
因为佛说出家功德无量，
네, 출가는 공덕이 많으니까.
供养出家人也功德无量。
네, 출가스님도 아주 공덕이 많으시니까요.
不过他那边是一个方丈，是很老的师傅。
근데 거기서는 계시는 그 주지는요 아주 나이가 많으신 분입니다.
看到他们那些年轻刚来的和尚啊，什么供养都收啊，很欢喜啊，啊。
그 젊은 저기 비구들은요 남의 공양하는 것은 뭐든지 다 받아들이고 다.
他就跟他们说，那些信徒啊，是像稻子一样，稻了，菜稻那种的稻啊。他们信徒来供养，就是像菜稻一样。
거기 그 공양하는 그 저기 그 사람들은요 공양하는 물품이 칼과 똑같다면서요. 야채에서는 칼과 똑같다면서.
我们就是像那个一块石头给人家磨，给他晾的，给那个稻子晾的，是我们像那些石头一样。
그 사람들은 칼을 갖고 오면은 우리는요 그 칼을 베는 그 저기 이거 깎는 그 돌하고 똑같다면서요. 그 우리는 돌이니까 그 사람들이 칼을 갖고 와서 우리한테 이렇게 그걸 벤다는 그 말씀입니다.
要小心，不然等一下稻子晾不过石头会不见了，越来越少，然后不见。
네, 저기 조심하지 않으면요 그 칼은요 더 예리해지고 돌은 부서지고 그렇게 될 겁니다.
不晓得怎么样，后来全部那个年轻的和尚然后离开。
왜 그런지 그 뒤로는요 그 노인 그 나이 많은 주지가 말하고 난 다음부터는요 어쩐지 그 모든 젊은 비구들은 다 나갔습니다.
不当和尚了。
중이 되기 싫어서 나가버렸습니다.
一阵子以后，
저 한때가 지지지도 않고 그냥 다 나가버렸습니다.
这样比较不小心了，受供养太多了，修行小，
네, 조심을 해야 됩니다.
诚恳那个心呢就被散掉了。
그 아주 신실한 그 마음이 있잖아요. 성실한 그 마음이 이 에고 때문에 다 부서지고 망가진 겁니다.
然后世俗的心又冒出来，我执冒出来，就撑不住那和尚的辛苦的生活。
세속의 모든 물질은 우리를 그렇게 합니다. 그래서 얼마 길게 수행을 못하는 겁니다.
然后心不见了，口念佛啊，做早课晚课，不过心都不在了。
그저 겁갑대기가 만났죠. 그저 아침 저녁으로 불경을 읽다 뿐이고 진짜로 수행한다는 거 없어진 겁니다.
后来一个一个离开。
그래서 그 뒤로는 하나하나씩 다 떨어져 나가겠지요.
是我的佛教的师父告诉我那个故事。
네, 제 저기 불교를 다니는 그 제자가
在越南
하는 것을 말씀하신 겁니다.
越南的故事。
올람 사장님입니다.
好吧，如果没有问题，我们就放松出去吃饭买菜。你们帮外面的人买菜 ，OK？ 反正回家也要买嘛，帮他们买 ，OK？ 还柚子啊，一人几个买带回去慢慢吃。反正中秋节来不来也可以吃啊。柚子是很补的，很有营养啊。哎呀，男妇老幼都可以吃啊。上次有一位律长来拜托我，让他那人们来这边卖那些柚子，我说谁吃啊？我们会帮他们买的 ，OK？ 好，买几个嘛，他们卖也很便宜，没什么贵，反正回去也要买啊。在这边顺手就买带回去，就不用去大市场买，他们自己种的，自己卖的，没有经过任何中央人，爱心爱力很多。我也有买给这边的人吃，上个星期天了。今天没有买了，我刚去闭关回来。也不是完全闭关了，就是也是一边修养一下，有一些业障要消化。 大的业障要消化，顺便为了动物，祷告。OK， 如果没别事，我就告辞了。请几位来吃饭，还有外国人来吃饭。这么多恐怕不行，怎么办？上面也有台湾人啊？没有啊，哪个台湾举手看看？啊，这边有台湾，台湾就不要去哈。台上国外人可以去哈，还有 SMTV 可以去哈。OK， 我真的很感谢 SMTV 工作人员，你懂吗？他们日夜工作，我有时候3更半夜吵他们起来，因为我工作改完以后，他们是要弄的。我不睡觉，我不会让他们睡的，因为我们连在一起嘛，工作是连在一起的。我们不是住在一起，不是连在一起，不过工作是连在一起的，没办法，没有他们我就不能工作，没有我他们可以，就是不同的频次了，了解吗 ？OK， thank you 了。然後帶他記住啊 ，OK？Thank you for your love 。感恩mấy đồng chí哈，感恩quý đồng chí哈，謝謝同志們。
感謝上，
感謝你，感謝大家的愛，你們的愛啊，那也是蠻鼓勵我的，有時候很累也爬得起來。Also protect me， 也有帮助我，也有保护了，爱力都会保护 ，OK， 就会有保护心。我们的爱力也会保护人呢 ，OK， 不是师父的爱力保护你们而已，你们一共合起来，爱力也蛮大，没了一点点有错，也有保护心，谢谢了，爱你 ，Thank you。哎呀，我绕不完怎么办？Love you 。Thank you to you。要赶车的人先出去 ，OK？ 不赶的话留下来看一看，不然冲出去外面，我过去的时候也可以看，好吗？这样比较快。大家出去，我在外面等你们都排2行，我就扫过去就全部都看光了。对啊，在这边又绕很久，你们怎么那么漂亮哈？Thank you 啦，谢谢啦，对了，出去外面，我在外面看好吗？以后都是这样好不好？绕场比较花时间，怕你们急了要回家，还有吃饭，好不好 ？OK，very good。让他们出来，我从这边出来也可以。哦，他，嘿，下雨不要出去，下雨了怎么办呢？I go there, my golf car。要不然我这样走，他们可以看得到比较好，是吗？好了，我不是这样走了，我这样走。OK。
Respected viewers, we appreciate your company for today's episode, entitled Remember Your True Nature, Live Like a Saint, Part 5 of 5 on Between Master and Disciples. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television for more positive programming. May you always be in the company of the divine.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule and SupremeMasterTV.com/BMD.